Tom Brady and Sofia Vergara insist they're not dating. Yet, the summer of 2025 has been filled with yacht trips, glamorous dinners, and whispers of a romance that looks more like a power move than a fling.
Brady and Sofia Vergara say they're not dating. They're just two single celebrities traveling Europe together on a yacht full of models and Martha Stewart. What's funny is this is exactly how my parents weren't dating in the 80s too.
I wanted him to retire, supposedly, early on into his career when he only had 3 rings.
This is from August 15th, 2023. This person says, I know from a solid source the Tom-Giselle breakup wasn't because of cheating on either side.
And right in the middle of it all, Kim Kardashian, who many say tried to insert herself into the story, but ended up overshadowed in the most humiliating way. Tonight, we're breaking down how this triangle exploded, why Kim is reportedly furious, and why Sofia Vergara has emerged as the unexpected queen of the spotlight. Bezos' wedding, Kim's missed moment. Jeff Bezos' wedding in Venice was meant to be a celebration of wealth, power, and star-studded glamour, but for Kim Kardashian, it was also an opportunity. She knew the cameras would be everywhere, and the guest list was stacked with the most influential names in entertainment, sports, and business. This was her stage. Reports from that night say Kim worked the crowd with her usual confidence, but her main focus was Tom Brady. She wanted to spark whispers of a power couple in the making. Eyewitnesses claim she positioned herself strategically near him, trying to spark conversation and laughter that the tabloids would instantly latch onto. But here's the twist. Tom wasn't buying into it. Instead of leaning into Kim's attempts, he reportedly shifted his attention towards Sydney Sweeney, the breakout actress whose star has been rising at light speed. Guests say he was seen smiling, chatting, and giving Sydney the kind of focus Kim thought would be reserved for her. For Kim, this was a nightmare scenario. She thrives on creating iconic moments that flood headlines. Yet, at Bezos' wedding, the most glamorous event of the year, Tom's energy drifted away from her spotlight. It wasn't just rejection, it was public embarrassment. And in Kim's world, being ignored at such a high-profile gathering was more damaging than any rumor. The stage she planned to dominate turned into the setting for her first visible stumble in the chase for Tom Brady. From Sydney to Sofia, the real rival emerges.
Kim Kardashian allegedly had a meltdown at Jeff Bezos' wedding because Tom Brady was giving attention to none other than Sydney Sweeney.
Kim could almost excuse Tom's attention towards Sydney Sweeney. It was predictable, a classic older man noticing a younger star. But then came the real shock. The actual rival wasn't Sydney at all. It was Sofia Vergara. That twist hit harder because Sofia wasn't a fleeting crush. She was established, admired worldwide, and celebrated for her natural beauty and charisma. Unlike Kim, who has often battled critiques of being overly polished, Sofia was praised for being authentic and effortless. And when stories surfaced of Tom and Sofia enjoying European nights and private vacations, it sent a clear message. This wasn't a quick distraction. The chemistry between them looked real. And for Kim, that meant the battle wasn't about age or glamour anymore. It was about losing the narrative to someone she couldn't outshine. What stung even more was the timing. Just as Kim was trying to rebrand her post-divorce image, Sofia appeared in Tom's orbit and stole the spotlight without lifting a finger. Fans weren't talking about Kim's moves anymore. They were talking about how Tom seemed completely captivated by Sofia. And in Hollywood, perception is everything. The summer of Tom and Sofia. As the weeks rolled on after Bezos' wedding, the whispers about Tom and Sofia only grew louder. The two weren't hiding in the shadows. They were being seen in some of the most glamorous destinations in Europe. From Italian coastlines to private dinners in Spain, the sightings painted the picture of a pair who enjoyed each other's company far more than they wanted to admit. Photos captured them laughing on yachts, clinking glasses at luxury restaurants, and mingling at exclusive A-list gatherings. What stood out most was the ease between them. Tom wasn't stiff or guarded the way he sometimes appeared at public events. He looked relaxed, even animated around Sofia. That spark was hard to ignore. Even when Sofia's team brushed off the talk, saying she was just living her best single summer, fans weren't buying it. The chemistry was too obvious, the timing too perfect, and the body language too strong. For the public, it was already clear, whether official or not. Tom and Sofia were the duo everyone was watching, and for Kim, who once thought she'd be in that position, the images were impossible to ignore. Kim's image versus Sophia's reality. What made this entire situation sting for Kim was not just Tom's attention drifting, it was who he drifted toward. Sofia Vergara wasn't supposed to be the competition. In Kim's world, rivals are usually younger influencers, up-and-coming stars, or models fighting for spotlight moments. But Sofia was different. She was in her 50s, yet still commanded the kind of admiration and respect Kim has fought years to secure.
Only likes what looks and feels good. And obviously that's Sofia. Especially Kim is known to be vindictive. They started planting a bunch of stories about the way that it couldn't be true.
Sources say Kim privately scoffed, even comparing Sophia's age to her mother, Kris Jenner's, as if that could explain away Tom's interest. But that comparison backfired. Fans quickly pointed out that Sofia looked radiant, strong, and effortlessly stylish. Proof that age wasn't a weakness, but part of her appeal. Tom himself seemed to reinforce this perspective. He wasn't chasing youth for the sake of appearances. Instead, he appeared drawn to energy, charisma, and a sense of confidence that couldn't be faked. And this was where Kim felt the sharpest blow. Her brand has always been built on reinvention, curation, and controlling the narrative. But next to Sofia, who didn't have to try, Kim looked like she was playing catch-up. For the first time, the contrast was undeniable. On one side, Sofia embodied timeless beauty that required no explanation. On the other, Kim's carefully crafted image suddenly looked like it was struggling to keep up. And when fans began pointing out this difference online, it wasn't just a matter of romance anymore, it was a battle of perception. The alleged smear campaign. After Tom and Sofia's summer connection made headlines, a bizarre rumor suddenly appeared that Tom thought Sofia was too old. For someone as private as Tom Brady, the claim sounded suspicious. Insiders immediately questioned where it came from, and the finger quickly pointed toward Kim Kardashian's camp. This wouldn't be the first time her team was accused of planting stories. Past whispers about her house hunting near Tom's neighborhood or secret dinners were said to be carefully leaked to make her look connected to him. Now, with Sofia in the picture, it looked like the same tactics were being reused, but the plan backfired. Tom's rep quickly denied the rumor and even praised Sofia instead. Overnight, the smear attempt made Sofia look stronger and Kim look calculated, leaving the public wondering how far Kim would go to control the narrative. The more Kim tried to spin the story, the more it slipped out of her hands, with Sofia coming out of the drama looking untouchable. Kanye's shadow still lingers. Behind all of Kim's moves with Tom Brady, one name kept surfacing: Kanye West. Insiders say Kanye mocked her for dating Pete Davidson, pushing her to aim higher with someone like Tom. For Kim, being tied to Brady would have been the ultimate way to prove she was still at the top. But here's the irony: instead of looking like her own strategy, it came across as her following Kanye's advice. Sofia, on the other hand, wasn't trying to prove anything. She was just being herself. That effortless contrast made Kim's actions seem forced. Every headline about Kim chasing Tom was a reminder of Kanye's influence. Instead of escaping his shadow, she looked like she was still moving under it. And that made the entire situation even more painful. In the end, what was supposed to restore her power only made her seem trapped by the very past she wanted to outrun. Tom's silence, with Kim, praise for Sofia. One of the most telling moments in this saga was how Tom handled the public pressure. When Kim was mocked by comedians during Netflix specials, when tabloids speculated about her chasing Tom, and when blogs painted her as desperate, Tom never stepped in. He stayed silent, letting the stories swirl unchecked. That silence spoke volumes, because in the world of celebrity dating, silence can be just as powerful as words. But when Sofia Vergara's name was dragged into the mix with claims she was too old, Tom suddenly broke his usual privacy. He issued a clear statement through People magazine, praising Sofia as timeless and shutting down the rumors instantly. That was a sharp contrast. He had no problem stepping up for Sofia, but he never did the same for Kim. For fans watching, this was the ultimate reveal. Tom's silence toward Kim and his public defense of Sofia told them everything they needed to know about where his loyalty and respect truly lay. And in Hollywood, respect is the most valuable currency of all. Kim's empire, showing cracks. Kim Kardashian still controls a billion-dollar empire, but the situation expose cracks in her image. For years, she projected power, control, and reinvention. Now, her personal choices were overshadowing her brand. Fans began questioning whether the carefully curated image was falling apart, especially after the Pete Davidson chapter and now the failed Tom Brady storyline. In contrast, Sofia Vergara wasn't even trying to play the same game. She wasn't planting stories or forcing narratives. She simply showed up, smiled, and let the natural chemistry with Tom speak for itself. That effortless authenticity made her shine brighter, while Kim looked like she was trying too hard to hold on. The comparison wasn't lost on the public. One woman seemed to be chasing relevance, while the other radiated it without effort. And when Tom publicly defended Sofia, it only highlighted the difference even more. For Kim, the empire may still stand tall, but the shine that once made her untouchable is starting to fade. The power play that backfired. In the end, this wasn't just about Tom Brady, Sofia Vergara, or Kim Kardashian. It was about the difference between chasing the spotlight and naturally owning it. Kim thought aligning herself with Tom would be her ultimate power move, the perfect way to silence critics and reclaim control of her narrative. But instead of rising, she ended up in the shadows of a woman she never expected to compete with. Sofia didn't push stories, didn't stage leaks, and didn't need to prove anything. She simply lived her life, and Tom Brady made it clear where his admiration was focused. By defending Sofia publicly, while ignoring Kim completely, Tom showed exactly who had his respect, and it wasn't Kim. This was more than a missed opportunity for Kim. It was a harsh reminder that no amount of strategy, PR spin, or carefully planted headline can replace genuine chemistry. Sofia walked away looking effortless, while Kim looked like she was playing a game that had already been lost. So now the big question is, did Kim really plant those shady stories, or is she just caught in the fallout of her own tactics? Drop your thoughts below, let us know where you stand, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because here at No Filter, we're bringing you the rawest twists and the juiciest Hollywood turns every single day.